Well, hello. It's nice to see you. I'm glad that you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with me, and I'm going to use this time to teach you something about bird watching, about a way to identify birds. Each week, we will spend a little bit of time learning something from how we observe birds. Sound confusing? It'll make sense when you watch this. So please, let's see what we have in store for us today. Today's lesson for bird watching is about little brown jobbers. Those little birds that flit around, don't sit still long enough for you to identify very often. And even when you get to see them, they all look alike, don't they? Well, today we're going to talk about how to tell the difference between a house sparrow and a song sparrow. Two little sparrows that frankly aren't both sparrows, but we'll get to that. The main way to tell them apart is to see that one isn't a sparrow. The house sparrow has a round, kind of large bill, and the song sparrow a thin and pointy one, because it's truly a sparrow. The house sparrow is actually a weaver finch, a whole different family of birds that don't exist in North America apart from the house sparrow, which made its way here from Europe, where ironically their numbers are declining. Here they've come to love our houses, and so they live near us and in our houses sometimes if they find a nice hole to make a nest in. Song sparrows, on the other hand, are really known by their song. You see, another important birdwatching tip is that sometimes you just have to stop and listen. No one's going to be terribly impressed with the song of a house sparrow, but the song of a song sparrow is really quite lovely. Even if the notes will vary a little from bird to bird, the pattern remains the same, and the voice of the song sparrow sounds similar among all the individuals in the species. And their song always begins with 3 low notes followed by a jumble of high notes. It's been said that their song sounds like they're saying, "Maids, maids, maids, put on your tea kettle, tea kettle, tea kettle." Well, when's the last time you saw a maid putting on a tea kettle? It kind of betrays its roots, doesn't it, among folks who had maids and drank tea. It's a song that comes from a long time ago, not current. And it's interesting, isn't it, the lesson that we can learn, how these similar species that live near us have very different lives, very different experiences, and yet we try to lay on them our model of understanding. We try to say that the bird that looks like a sparrow but isn't is a sparrow, and the sparrow that is a sparrow that sings this lovely song we have tried to remember by remembering something that has nothing at all to do with sparrows and has really very little to do with anything that you and I do on a daily basis. Aren't we humans funny? How we try to put things into boxes, how we try to make labels fit because it makes us feel comfortable. When we do it with humans, we often make the human uncomfortable. And so maybe the lesson that we need to learn today from bird watching is be careful about labels. And be careful about what boxes you want to put things into. Because you have to remember that you are putting not just things in these boxes, but humans and other than humans. So now, the lesson is yours. What did you learn? What does it mean to you from what you gathered in our time together? It's going to be different for each and every one of us. That's what learning is like. And I hope that in all of this, you will see that God has created a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular world with all these differences in part so that you will know that you have a place in it, and all of it can make you feel better. It can make you feel wonderful that the world is so beautiful. So I hope that whatever you learned in this time will be something you can apply, you can practice in your life this week, every week. And maybe you will have something to share that you learn, and I would love to hear it. And others would love to hear it. So as you go from this time, go out and explore. See the world. Find what God has in store for you. And tell others about it. Until next time, bye.